So Marauders is the newest installment in the lobby-based survival genre, where it's full loot PvP. You have a progression path either via quests, factions, and then you also have a place where you're storing and hoarding all of your loot until everything gets wiped and you start over. I really did enjoy my time with Marauders throughout the recent alpha test, but I think there's going to be about 7 things that really need to happen before this game can launch for it to be a huge success. So this video, I'm going to be going over my thoughts on what needs to happen to make Marauders a great game I think a lot of us know it can be. Number 1, give us an after action report. Man, there's been so many times I've gotten into a fight in this game and I've died and I just have no clue what has happened. Either I'm trash, or the game's bugged out, or the guy I was fighting is an absolute god. But the fact of the matter is I don't know what happened. I need to be able to see what damage I did to the player, what damage they did to me, if it was an AI or a player that killed me, and what exactly happened, what weapon they were using, things like that. And this is a hardcore game, and being able to learn from your mistakes is a really big part of the progression and getting better. And I think that just adds to the frustration to the player, and you don't want your players to be frustrated. Number 2, ship combat. Man, ship combat in this game is really, really cool. It's probably the most unique thing it has going for it is dogfighting in space. You can board other people, take their ships, kill them in their ship type of thing. It is really neat. I do think ship combat needs a little bit of love. The movement of the ships is kind of clunky. I know once you get into the higher tier ships, things open up. But right now, it really just seems like whoever gets the first shot ends up winning the ship fight, or it really just doesn't matter that much. You know, I want to be able to have ships that have different perks, and ones are faster than others, want to have really good maneuverability, or certain ships can do different things like maybe mine asteroids or stuff like that. And it will really add to the diversity and fun of this game. I really think they just continue to build on top of that and lean into it and fix a lot of the balance problems that the ship combat currently has. Number 3, so following along with the ship stuff, I want to talk specifically about the boarding process and what happens when you lose a dogfight or you win a dogfight. Right now, a lot of the frustrations with this system comes from the fact that people can just leave their ship whenever they want. And before this was the case, everybody would just die inside of their ship, right? I think the perfect balance for this is to have it so when your ship is destroyed in a dogfight, you are basically trapped inside of your ship. You're not taking any damage inside of there, but you have to achieve the next goal, which could be either repairing your ship, repairing an escape pod, or preparing for somebody to board you. What this allows there to be is kind of another layer of this gameplay where, okay, I've won a dogfight or I've lost a dogfight. The next step is if I want that dude's loot that I killed, I have to board that person. I know he's in there and he's waiting for me, and I have to kill him to get his stuff, or I leave him alone. And then the guy on the inside knows, okay, I'm about to be boarded. I can only be boarded from 4 or 5 of these places inside of my ship. Let me sit up, let me wait, see if somebody's going to board me, and you have your teammates maybe fixing the escape pods so that way you can get out eventually. But the problem is right now is it's all too fast. There's really no middle section between winning and losing a dogfight and either dying or escaping. And I think it would add a lot of really unique, fun moments to the game. Number 4, fix the inventory management and organization. So there's still a lot of inventory issues that are just super annoying to deal with. Like having to take off your backpack to put on another backpack and not being able to access a backpack on the ground to be able to get loot out of it, or being able to swap armors with something that you killed without having to take off your armor first. Also being able to see what's on the ground around you. And I think it adds a lot to the frustration that people have when they're playing, when you're trying to swap an armor really fast, but you can't because it takes forever. I'm also going to sneak another point into number 4 here about armor, where once you kind of lose your best armor, you're screwed. Because armor is so big and it takes up so much inventory space, you can't do runs where you're coming out with armor plus loot. It's either all loot or one armor piece. And I think they need to somehow make it so that way you can have a little bit more of a stash of armor, because once you lose that one level 12 Panzer armor, now you're back down to wearing level 6s. Number 5, more maps. Right now we have 3. We have the mine, we have the one with the market in it, and then we also have the PvP map, which doesn't have a raid in it at all, and it's just space battles. And I think adding more maps is going to be important, and I'm sure they're working on it, but I think I would like to see more of a different style of map. The mine and the other map kind of feel similar when you're on the inside. They're just kind of tight corridors, smoky, dark, grim areas. I would like to see a more open map. Maybe it's like a planetary dome or something like that. But I think they definitely got to add a little bit more diversity to the maps themselves. along with making the maps feel a little bit more alive. Right now, whenever you go into a map, there's really only 3 spots you hit: the locked chests, the locked rooms, and then the vault. And that's basically it, because nothing else really matters at that point. I really think they need to add more things inside of the maps to make them a little bit more engaging and have fights that are more spread out than just in the normal spots that everybody else is in. Number 6, quality of life. A lot of developers save this until the end of beta, which is fine, but if they end up in a rush and release without finishing these quality of life features, it could be a disaster. Poor quality of life really kills players' fun quickly and adds to the overall frustration that players have. But there's just a lot of UI things that need change. There's a lot of settings that should exist. I think we should have VoIP in the game. I think we need to have a better group finder in the game. Confirmation to when you want to scrap things, adding confirmation to when you want to craft things, make it so split stack actually works. Add a compass to the UI. I really think there needs to be a compass. It's really difficult to tell where you're at, especially in space. You're trying to coordinate with a teammate. I think a lot of these things on the list are all just alpha problems, but I still think it's important to be able to talk about these things, bring them up, make sure the developers in the community are aware, and just show that a lot of us care. Like, I care about this game. I like this game. I want it to succeed. Hopefully a lot of these things will get fixed before launch, even before the next beta. And we're going to be covering a lot of Marauders on this channel because I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Now, I know at the beginning of the video I said there would be 7 points, and that's where you guys come in. What do you guys think the game needs? Put your comments down below. That will be the 7th point. And when the game comes out, we will go ahead and we'll revisit this list and the comments of this video to see what has changed from this point until launch. Super excited for the future, and I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.